They said friendship lasts a lifetime. But what if that friendship slowly turns into something you never saw coming? What if the person who's always been by your side starts to feel like something more? For Carla and Lisa, two souls bound by trust and laughter, this question changed everything on the quiet cobbles of Coronation Street. Carla and Lisa had been inseparable for years. They weren't the loud type of friends who shouted their stories from rooftops. Theirs was the kind of bond built in quiet moments. Early morning coffees before work, shared secrets under dim streetlights, and comforting silences that spoke louder than words. Everyone on the street knew that where Carla went, Lisa followed. They had seen each other through heartbreaks, job troubles, and the kind of days that made you want to disappear. Yet somehow, when they were together, the world felt softer, kinder. Carla was the strong one, always holding herself together, even when everything fell apart. Lisa was her balance, lighthearted, funny, the kind of person who could make a bad day feel bearable with just a smile. They had their routines, Thursday dinners, weekend walks, and late-night talks that stretched into dawn. Over time, their friendship became something unshakable, the kind that didn't need words to feel understood, but lately, there was a shift neither could explain. Maybe it was the way Lisa started looking at Carla a little differently when she laughed. Maybe it was the way Carla felt her heart tighten when Lisa brushed her arm during a joke. Small things, so small you'd almost miss them. But they were there like a quiet rhythm beneath the surface, building toward something neither wanted to name. They told themselves it was just friendship, deep, loyal, unbreakable. But the truth was simpler and scarier. Something inside both of them was changing. And once a heart starts to change, pretending nothing's different becomes the hardest thing in the world. It happened on a quiet evening, the kind where the world feels half asleep, and every sound seems to echo just a bit longer than usual. Carla and Lisa sat together in Carla's flat, the rain tapping softly against the window. They were watching an old movie, one they'd both seen a dozen times, but that night felt different. Maybe it was the way Lisa leaned closer when she laughed, or how Carla's heart started racing when their hands brushed against each other. It wasn't planned. It wasn't spoken. But in that moment, something invisible shifted between them. Lisa noticed it too, the silence that followed, heavier than usual, almost electric. She looked at Carla and smiled, but there was hesitation in it. A question neither of them dared to ask. Carla turned away, pretending to be interested in the movie, but inside, her thoughts were spinning. What was that? She wondered. Why does it feel so different? For the next few days, everything felt slightly off. Their conversations were shorter, their laughter more careful. They both felt it, the tension, the pull. When Lisa dropped by the cafe to meet Carla after work, their eyes met for just a second too long. No words were needed. The air between them spoke louder than anything they could say. Then came the night that sealed it, a power cut across the street. No lights, no distractions, just the two of them sitting by candlelight, talking about life and love. Carla confessed she'd been afraid of losing the only person who truly understood her. Lisa listened, her eyes soft and full of something Carla couldn't ignore anymore, a pause, a breath, a choice. Their hands met, not by accident this time. And in that single touch, everything changed. The safety of friendship faded into the thrill of something unknown, something real. Neither spoke. They didn't need to. The truth was already there. In the space between their hearts, the days that followed were filled with confusion, the kind that settles deep inside you and refuses to let go. Carla couldn't stop thinking about that night. The way Lisa's hand felt in hers. The silence that wasn't awkward anymore, but heavy with meaning. Every time they saw each other after that, there was something unspoken hovering in the air. Their friendship, once effortless, now felt fragile, like a glass that could shatter with one wrong word. People on Coronation Street started to notice. Whispers spread, curious glances, half smiles, and quiet questions. Are they, Someone whispered at the cafe. Carla heard it once, and it stung. Not because it was cruel, but because she didn't know the answer herself. She wasn't ready to define what she felt, and the world was already trying to. Lisa, on the other hand, was tired of hiding. One evening, she showed up at Carla's door, her voice trembling with frustration. "You've been avoiding me, Carla. Don't tell me nothing's changed." Carla looked at her, torn between fear and longing. "I'm not avoiding you, Lisa. I'm trying to protect what we had." "Protect it from what?" "From feeling something real?" Those words hung in the air like thunder. Carla didn't respond. She didn't know how. She turned away, blinking back tears she couldn't explain. Lisa waited, but when silence was all she got, she left quietly, like someone closing a chapter they didn't want to end. Days turned into weeks. The cafe felt emptier. The laughter that once filled their world had disappeared. Carla missed her, not just as a friend, but as the piece of herself she hadn't known she'd lost. Every time she walked past Lisa's flat, she hesitated, wanting to knock but never brave enough. It wasn't until she saw Lisa one morning, smiling faintly, talking to someone else, that Carla realized what she truly feared. Not judgment, not gossip, but the thought of losing Lisa forever. That's when it hit her. Love doesn't destroy friendship. Silence does. Morning light spilled over the cobblestones of Coronation Street, soft and golden, like the world had decided to forgive everything that came before. Carla stood by her window, watching the street slowly wake up, people opening shops, neighbors greeting each other, life moving on as if nothing had changed. But for her, everything had. The distance between her and Lisa had become unbearable, a silence too loud to live with. Every memory, every laugh, every secret played in her mind like an unfinished song. That afternoon, she found herself walking toward Lisa's flat without even realizing it. Her heart raced with every step, fear whispering that maybe she was too late. But when Lisa opened the door, the look in her eyes told Carla she wasn't. There was still something there, fragile, but alive. For a moment, neither spoke. Then Carla finally broke the silence. "I've been running from something I already knew," she said softly. "You're the one person I can't imagine my life without." Lisa's eyes shimmered, a mix of relief and love. "You don't have to run anymore, Carla. I'm right here." No grand gestures, no perfect words, just truth. The kind that comes when you stop fighting what your heart already decided long ago. They didn't need labels, didn't need anyone else's approval. They only needed the courage to be honest with themselves. Later, they walked down Coronation Street side by side. The same street where they had shared laughter, pain, and everything in between. Only now, there was a quiet peace between them. A new chapter, built not on fear or confusion, but on trust, the same trust that started it all. As the sun dipped behind the rooftops, Carla glanced at Lisa and smiled. "Funny," she said. "Everyone told us friendship is forever. I guess they were right, they just didn't say it could turn into this." And with that, they kept walking, two friends who had finally stopped pretending and started living the truth of their hearts.